I think we need to really discuss what Rob Manfred said during the Seattle Mets game last night, Sunday Night Baseball, because it was truly horrifying. Like, it gave me actual nightmares thinking about this because, like, this is somebody who's actually trying to harm the future of the sport. This is a dangerous man who should not be walking free among the people.
I can only imagine if people don't know what we're talking about, what they think you're going to say.
Rob Manfred wants to do one good thing and one bad thing.
Oh, wait. Is the good thing retiring in 29?
No, because that's way too far away. The good thing is expansion. I think expansion's a fine idea. I don't mind it.
I mean,
Long
you don't
time
have
coming.
Enough teams that spend money right now, so
no, but you can get owners that are willing to spend money. You know, not everybody needs to be a Bob Nutting. You can get a Steve Cohen.
I mean, I hate the idea of expansion.
Worry about the teams that don't spend money first before adding new ones.
Fine, I can get behind that, but
also worry about having teams that are just competitive, because you don't have enough competitive teams. Like a different league like the NBA that's looking to expand makes sense because there's so much European talent coming in and it's just flooded. The MLB has multiple dumpster fire teams every single year. I mean, for the past half decade, there's always been a Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, but you can argue that's because the stars are so just widely, or not widely dispersed. Like in Major League Baseball, you have teams that don't spend money, so everyone ends up in New York or LA.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, again, maybe instead of expanding, relocating and getting new ownership for the teams you have. But
I don't know if I love a relocation because I think that's like a Band-Aid and not an actual fix.
Relocation should require the owner to sell the team.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Or, like, if you buy a team and want to relocate immediately.
I just feel like, one, if you do that, you shouldn't be able to actually keep the team name and the history, make it a fresh team, leave that history with the fan base that actually experienced it.
I don't know. It depends. Because
how often do we see, a team relocating actually work out well?
Not that it's going to happen, but say the Texas Rangers relocated to Dallas.
No,
we wouldn't just be like, oh, it's all gone now.
They basically play in Dallas.
I was about to say, that's not much of a relocation.
That's like saying that the Yankees moved to Manhattan.
Like a team that moves in its own state or in a certain mile radius.
Like if the Rays moved to Tallahassee?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. If they became the Jacksonville Rays or even...
I mean, I guess that's one thing, but not if they became like the New Orleans Rays.
Yeah, like you think the Las Vegas A's should be the Las Vegas something else and Oakland's retired.
Yes, I think Oakland retire it. One, I think the Giants are really scummy for how they did the A's. When the Giants were having, money issues with the city, the A's backed them up. And then as soon as the A's were trying to have that same type of stadium deal issue with money, the Giants basically did all they could to get the A's gone. Stab them in the back.
That dang Buster Posey.
Ben knows this as long as I've known him. I've been a very big anti-Buster Posey guy. And I feel so vindicated that he's one of the most hated men in baseball. But
Corey has hated Buster Posey for as long as I can remember.
And I'm right. I'll be proven right. He'll be left off my unofficial Hall of Fame ballot because he just doesn't deserve it.
Me and Jerickson Profar, Corey, and Buster Posey.
No.
And Dylan and Alec Bohm.
What you guys have on Bohm and Profar, I've got nothing on how I feel about Posey. Hate the man. But like I said, I don't mind expansion so much as I hate realignment. The NBA way of doing things is really bad. East and West is a stupid way to run a league.
I disagree.
For baseball, it is.
For baseball, it is, but not for the NBA and not for hockey.
Sure, but for football, it wouldn't work either.
I mean, it kind of already is an East and West league in football.
Not
Because
really. You have AFC,
your divisions
NFC.
are split up geographically. That's the thing. Baseball is fine because your divisions are geographic. Like, just don't worry about that. The fact that you get interleague and there's 2 leagues in each area of the country of the American and National League in each region is what makes baseball special.
Yes. And the reason why they want to kind of realign is because, one, they think there's a lot of wear and tear on players traveling. I have a very novel idea on how to fix this. Go back to having the AL and NLB separate schedules where you play 1 month of the year against each other so they're not flying around everywhere.
Play 1 division a year, and that's that.
Go back to how they used to do it.
Yeah.
Make June interleague month.
Cut down from 162 games and make more teams watchable. That way there's still baseball on every night for people who want to watch it. I mean, that's a novel idea. If you could cut it down to where a team is playing 1 series a week and there's still baseball on every single night. And it'll make the games more important.
Yeah, but also too, here's the issue with that. Because part of a grind in a season is testing your starting.
Well, so I'm not saying 3 games a week specifically, but I'm saying you could make it to where you're playing, every other day.
If you do that, you only need 3 starting pitchers.
I don't think something like that is ever realistic. I think if they cut down from 162, it'll be literally like 154.
Well, like they don't even play every other day when it comes to the playoffs because of what it would do for pitching.
Yeah, you're giving it's a massive advantage to the pitching, and I just don't see that being an option. I was
gonna say I also have a novel idea about complaining about the wear and tear. Too bad.
I'm with you.
Yeah, you guys are getting hundreds of millions of dollars at the end of the day to play baseball. Too bad, I guess.
Sport.
Yeah, hundreds of millions of dollars and the greatest doctors and nutrition and health specialists money could buy.
Yeah, I'm not like a shut up and dribble person.
Time. These guys get off for anything.
Shut up and hit the bat and away.
Yeah, I'm not that type of person. Like I believe in like the MLB or NBA like players association, the people that like work for it. But like you play baseball from April to October for most teams. Some of them go further.
I was going to say April through September. That's it.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, like suck it up. And if you got to take 2 weeks off to rest a sore hamstring, like do it.
But also, I feel like the players' union would be more in line to agree with the fans and us, where they don't want this realignment. Think about it this way. Realignment, if they did, an expansion and realignment, let's say they go to 32 teams, it will be 8 divisions of 4 teams each. You can't tell me a division of Yankees, Mets, Boston, and Phillies good for baseball. You destroy what makes Yankees and Mets special. It's killed. You destroy it. Nobody cares about Knicks, Nets.
The fact you're taking 4 of the biggest markets you have and immediately taking 3 of them out of the playoffs.
Yeah. It just makes no sense. And like, this is what Manfred said, if I'm going to quote him. He said, I think if we expand, it provides us with an opportunity to geographically realign. Again, like I said, he said it saves wear and tear, but one of the other points he noted was how the postseason format would be a lot, more appealing for ESPN. His first thoughts aren't for the fans and what makes the sport special. It's for his corporate sponsors. Tar and feather the man. Lock him up. He belongs underneath a jail cell. He has done nothing but hurt baseball's future. You have a ghost runner at second. He added a clock to the sport. I mean, get him out of here. He has done more harm than Bud Selig, in my opinion. And Bud Selig turned a blind eye to the steroid era.
Yeah, I mean, I also think if you do, because I pulled up here what a potential realignment would look like. The Northeast Division, Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Phillies. Like, even if it didn't dilute some of those rivalries the way that we're talking about, which we all agree it would, some of the other divisions are just so uninteresting. The Great Lakes Division, Blue Jays, Guardians, Reds, Tigers. Like this year it would work out, but some other years it wouldn't. Atlantic, Pirates, Nationals, Orioles, Charlotte expansion team. Like all of those teams are terrible this year. Southeast, Braves, Marlins, Rays, Nashville expansion team. That the Braves just walk into the playoffs every year. Like some of them aren't like too bad, but
How do you split the Dodgers and Giants, a long historical rivalry?
yeah, you would according to this. Southwest would be Dodgers, Angels, Padres, Diamondbacks, Northwest, Giants, Mariners, Rockies, Athletics. Even
But
though the Athletics are moving to Vegas, so
I was looking at a map of where all the teams are located, and I, for the life of me, couldn't figure out a way that you keep Giants and Dodgers in the same division without it looking weird. You have to. You have to split them up if you geographically realign. It just makes sense. And, I was having a debate with some friends about this the other day because Manfred said that Giants Dodgers is a more prolific or as prolific of a rivalry as Yankees Red Sox. And again, that's something so out of touch because a rivalry isn't just now. A rivalry is what has happened in the past and what will be in the future. Giants Padres is the equivalent of Yankees Rays from a few years ago. Just a really good team and a perennial contender, not what the Giants and Dodgers have had going back, almost 100 years, going back to when they were New York teams having a rivalry. So one, it's an insult to the Giants to put the Padres in the same breath as a rival to the Dodgers. And it's an insult to actual great rivalries.
yeah, and who knows how long this Padres success is going to last with all their question marks at ownership right now.
Exactly. So to utter that is so asinine and stupid. And he's just on a roll of alienating his whole entire fan base. Like, again, he said that the 10 p.m. slot is one that they want to up the ratings for, and he thinks that this will help. Not what's better for the sport. It's what's better to line the pockets of him, ESPN, and the owners. He also in the past has noted Nashville, Salt Lake City, and Portland as three of the top frontrunners for an expansion team. And he wants to expand before his contract is up, like you guys said, in 2029. So this is coming sooner than later. And I think this is going to be a big contentious point in the new CBA.
I just don't understand why expansion would be a priority when people already can't watch teams that aren't local.
Absolutely, 100%.
Like it's your availability to be watched is not high. So again, I mentioned the NBA. They just signed a massive deal with NBC and Amazon Prime, and they released their schedule. There's going to be NBA that is easily accessible every single night of the week, whether it's on NBC, ESPN, or Amazon Prime, which most people have Prime. I get that one's more of like a subscription-based service, but even if you don't, you're still going to be able to get different NBA games 4 out of 7 nights a week. For baseball, I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's just Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN and one TBS game a week.
You get Apple TV, which you have to
Roku.
pay for.
Yeah. But Apple TV, I feel like, has way less subscribers than Amazon Prime.
I can 100%. Count on one hand the amount of people I know that subscribe to Apple TV.
So that's what I mean when I say, like, the Amazon Prime, I include it because most people have it already. But if you didn't, it's still half of the week you could watch NBA. And again, they're so flooded with talent right now that an expansion for them makes sense. For the MLB, it feels like this is a rushed move because Manfred wants to be the guy who led to an expansion but the league's not ready for it. because one, you don't have so much talent that every roster is overly competitive. You barely have enough talent to field a playoff field with the new playoff system of teams that actually feel like they have a real shot to go and do something. And then it's nearly impossible to watch teams that aren't local and good games. Like we'll talk about it, but the Dodgers and Padres play this weekend. So do the Yankees and Red Sox. Of those games, if you don't have Apple TV, you're getting to watch 1 of 6, unless you're local.
And I wonder how much of each team owning their own media rights plays a part in it. Like the Yankees have their own contract with Prime to air every game on every Wednesday on Prime only.
Yeah, I would, in the new CBA, if I was the ownership, I'd be fighting for media rights, like for the MLB. Like if I was the MLB, I would want to be able to disperse any game that I want.
But that has nothing to do with the players.
I mean, I would try and when we're all negotiating everything, get that in there somehow.
I don't think the players care where their game is being broadcasted.
I bet they would care what percent of media rights.
In a league that doesn't have a salary cap and ownership trying to spend in the league spending money, the players would actually almost rather the teams do whatever they have to make more money, because that should, in theory, trickle down, because the amount of money being spent is based off of the revenue each team is creating, not necessarily a salary cap that they're supposed to, adhere by. So I understand, that side of things. It's just Major League Baseball. Rob Manfred specifically talking about wanting to up ratings in a window. Well, you have the sport that is the hardest to watch at this point. It is the hardest. You cannot see every game. It's physically impossible at this point because of the amount of differences that you have to, have amount of different services, just to watch, regular
and blackouts.
The blackouts are ridiculous, but I would understand if, there was actually like a reason to, black out. Like if cable was common and, people typically had cable, a majority of the people had cable and were able to have access to that channel. That's the reason why you do the blackouts, because cable companies were going to be annoyed if people were just going and watching on MLB.com as opposed to paying for the cable service. The problem is not a lot of people have cable anymore. And if you do have cable, odds are you don't get the channel. It took me forever to get SNY. Because that's the only carriers that have it at this point are Comcast and Hulu TV. A lot of things are dropping it, and it's making it impossible to watch. And I think ultimately what Major League Baseball and almost every league is trying to eventually shift towards is having that where you just have to pay a subscription service for Major League Baseball, no matter what team you want to watch.
But then you could get all the games
the NFL
theoretically.
does with NFL Plus.
But then theoretically, you could watch all the games, like how Sunday Ticket is with the NFL.
Right.
Exactly. And I think that's the idea behind it. And I'm almost on board with it, but it needs to get there,
Yeah, I mean, and the blackouts are ridiculous because they're not even perfect. I mean, Ben, you obviously went to school out by me, so you know what I'm getting at here. But in Northeast Pennsylvania,
the Yankees
games are blacked out. So if the Yankees are on TBS, I can't watch the game. It's blacked out, and they say that I got to go to the local listing. Well, guess what's not on my cable network? Yes Network. So, and then if I get the Yes Network app, which is changed name so many times, I think it's Gotham Sports now. It's about three pitches behind wherever Corey will be at watching.
At least three pitches.
Because me and Corey would text about Yankees games, and he would text me great hit there from Judge, and then I'm still watching somebody else at the plate. It got
Hey,
to the
welcome
point,
to
and
my life. I've been dealing with that for years now.
It gets to the
but
point I
then
gotta
it was
delay
it was
myself as best as I can to text.
but then
anybody streaming.
I'm paying $30 a month for a streaming service that's so far behind.
Yeah, it's like, what's the
So
point?
right, that's what I'm saying. So the MLB should be focusing on resolving issues like that rather than expanding to make even more games not accessible.
No, exactly.
It gets me so angry thinking about this because one, you've had the Ghost Runner implemented, and that still hasn't gone, and that was supposed to, only be a COVID precaution to speed games up during that one season. That's still there. You don't have that rule in the playoffs, but you have it in the regular season. That's not right. That's not how it should be. That's
So many people are on board with that. You're not going to win that argument, though.
I
Well,
don't mind the
you-
Ghost Runner, to be honest, but I do kind of agree that changing the way that teams play games in the playoffs, it is kind of like, what's the point? Like, what's the
There
point
is
of
no point.
strategizing for this for 162, and then when the games matter, that strategy doesn't matter anymore?
We are so close to not having any games go past like the 11th inning and then just having the 12th inning replaced by a home run derby, like a shootout in hockey. Like, it's not even funny how close we are to probably getting that in the next 10 years.
Oh,
But
yeah,
then they won't do that in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but also too, you look at hockey, I understand regular season games need to end at some point. There's no need to kill your team's pitching. There's no need for it. I'm actually on board with getting these games to end earlier because, again, like hockey, where you have 5 minutes of 3-on-3 and then you go to a shootout. But guess what? Come playoff time, it's continuous 5-on-5 overtime. Like, it's okay to change things because extra innings and all of these rules and stuff are just to break a tie. It's not like, the complete game has changed how it's being played.
But then again, the strategy has changed. Both
The
leagues now have
strategy
a
in
delay.
extra innings changes, but also too, again, in hockey, it changes. The guy you're going to have take your shootout shot is not necessarily the guy you're going to put out there in overtime. Like, it takes defensemen completely out of hockey when it comes to that. The goaltenders, who are some of the better players, are put at a strong disadvantage in the shootout. So it's not like changing things just to kind of speed things up and prolong, the health of your guys to make sure that come playoff time, you do have your stars out there on the field. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's a joke. That's what it is. It's an embarrassment. Baseball prides itself on being an unchanging game, or barely changing for over 100 years.
Yeah, but when no one's watching and no one can keep up with it, eventually you do have to
I
make some
can
changes.
admit that the pitch clock is a losing battle for me. That's getting people in, but the Ghost Runner isn't keeping people engaged. Nobody's watching the game saying, "Man, I hope there's a Ghost Runner because that's really going to end the game quick."
No, you know what people are saying, though, if they're watching a game in the 9th, 10th, 11th inning? Oh, I hope this ends soon.
It's just it's a phantom runner. How did they get? You didn't earn the win. You didn't do anything to deserve to win a game when the Ghost Runner scores the winning run.
Both teams get it.
It doesn't matter. You didn't earn it.
There's no difference.
How did the runner
Both
get there?
teams get it.
How did the runner get there?
I don't have any problem
Magic.
with the Ghost Runner.
Magic just appeared.
Would you
Undeserved.
rather in the regular season then 9 innings are up straight to the home run derby, then no Ghost Runner, everybody
No.
saves their pitching? Well,
I'd rather you keep going, and I don't care if it takes 18 innings because those are the cool stories you hear about.
Yeah, it's cool.
With the
and
random,
fun
the
when
once in
those
a million.
things
the
happen.
cool story that you'll eventually hear about is, oh my God, like blah, blah, blah team was shorthanded. And then their backup first baseman hit 3 home runs in the home run derby to win them that game. Like, the cool story will be replaced. Like, we saw it in the All-Star game, and everybody came up here and talked about Kyle Schwarber.
I mean, I think we more or less talked about Aaron Boone just botching that and putting Jonathan Aranda.
But you could talk about that too.
It's just not baseball.
yet.
And that's what bothers me because it's changing so much so quick. You're not letting any of these changes breathe and get a new generation to accept it. Like, I'm sure I would have hated the idea of one league with a DH, one league without if I was in if I grew up in the 60s.
I mean, listen,
and
we get
happened
it.
in the 70s.
You are the 70-year-old man at Walmart
No,
who
but,
hates
like,
self-checkout
I
and is
get it, but,
pissed
like,
that there's only 2 lanes open. We get it.
let it breathe. Don't change 50 things in the span of 5 years.
We get it.
I admit
They got
it,
locks on the cabinets now,
but to me, there's
self-checkout.
no difference between the Ghost Runner and realignment. It's a radical change to what is at the heart of the sport.
So that's where we disagree, because I can't speak solely for Ben as well, but for me, the realignment problem is I'm already not interested in a third of the league. A third of the league isn't fielding competitive teams, and I can't watch 85% of the league. So adding more to that creates a problem. The Ghost Runner, especially for me who lives on the East Coast, lets me go to bed earlier.
I get it. I get the going to bed earlier, but I do want to get back on track with the realignment because went on a bit of a tangent, but other stuff. But realignment and expansion just makes no sense for where the sport's at now. And I can't see a benefit to them doing either in the near future. If you do expand, realignment makes sense, but a geographical realignment where you get rid of the AL and the NL doesn't. Now, if you told me you wanted to revamp the AL and the NL and keep them separate, where maybe you keep the Yankees and Red Sox together, but maybe the Blue Jays do go to a Midwest, and you shake things up that way, I can maybe understand the thinking, and I don't think I'm alone in that. But when you combine the Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Phillies, that's where you lose me. Keep
I
the
agree
Mets
there.
and the Phillies separate from the Yankees and Red Sox. Do the Mets need to be in a division with the Marlins? No, I don't. You don't need the Yankees. Don't need to be in a division with Tampa. They don't need to be in a division with Toronto or even Baltimore, for that matter. The Mets need to be in a division with Philly. I would say they probably need to be in a division with Atlanta. They don't need to be in a division with Washington, though. So you have these little things, and they need to be kept separate. So
Yeah.
you can realign that way with the separate AL and NL and figure things out that way, and maybe have some teams switch, like you've had the Astros and the Brewers go NL to AL, AL to NL. That is one thing. But a geographical radical realignment is harmful, at least in my opinion.
I agree that crossing AL and NL is a bad idea.